Welcome to the new player guide for Hunt Showdown. You are watching Ethereal Games and my name is Eli. Brief disclaimer that these tips are my opinion only. First off, you're going to notice that these first matches feel pretty easy. This is because new players play in a new player bracket. Up until level 21, you're only pairing with people 20 and below. So once you hit 21, expect everything to get far more punishing. I highly suggest you take advantage of this new player bracket while you can. Hunt is a fairly unusual type of shooter, so the sooner you practice the gunfights, the better. It'll be a lot easier to learn the meta before you're playing in the higher level bracket. In terms of guns, this game likes to emphasize pretty realistic concepts, such as intense weapon sway or slow reload times. This means you need to be cautious about when you engage. At distances, it's best to use rifles or pistols, such as the Winfield or Nagant variants, especially the Nagant Officer, especially if you get consistent headshots. Because of the large clip size, it's also forgiving with occasional misses, unlike some of the larger rifles. For close-up combat, the shotguns in this game offer a pretty powerful punch, but you do have to be quite close. They're very good for people who need to work on their aim, but you need some patience. You can expect a headshot within a few meters to hit most players, but the damage drop-off is very significant, so hold your fire until you're close enough to give them a hug. A good balance can be a shotgun and a pistol, which offers you a chance to engage at medium and long distances, but also to push up on players very close to you. Bullets also will penetrate basically any surface in this game. However, there is substantial damage loss. If you can see someone peeking through a crack in a wall, you probably can hit them. As you'll see, we even demonstrated penetration with varying bullet types. All bullets I say, not crossbow bolts, will penetrate surfaces and still deal damage. However, they deal very reduced damage. Very rarely do they even exceed over one small health bar. However, something very interesting is that through penetration, a headshot is not considered on a player, and it's treated instead as a regular body shot. For some reason though, penetration headshots do count if they are against an NPC. Stealth, which is possibly the most important skill in this game. While many of you are coming from other FPS games thinking you can just outgun your opponents, Hunt will definitely prove you wrong. Sure, it might work sometimes, but Hunt is about positioning and perception. The game is filled with sound traps, such as crows, dogs, chickens, or loud water, and tons of enemies that like to yell whenever they're approached. Instead of running everywhere, you want to carefully decide when to walk, crouch, or run. The trigger radius for sound traps is based on how you're moving. An obvious source of noise is gunfire. Gunshots and explosions will attract most players since the noise carries farthest. This means even if you shoot one bullet, you can expect that another player probably heard it and they might head your way. You can use this to your advantage, however, by leading players into a trap. But if you don't want to see other players, probably hold your fire. As a new player, you won't have options for silenced weapons, but you can buy a knife fairly early on. This is a very good way to take out enemies without alerting the whole map. The lanterns scattered throughout the land also offer you a free kill on most NPCs, so long as you aim appropriately. There are a lot of different items. For a new player, I highly suggest sticking to the Concertina Bomb, explosives, and the large vitality shot. The Concertina Bomb offers a way to silently kill the Butcher without very many attacks. Explosives, on the other hand, allow you to kill enemies over cover, and the large vitality shot will fully heal you if you can stand for about 5 seconds without doing anything. The knife, like we mentioned, is probably the best way to stay silent at the beginning. The first aid kit offers you a way to heal back bars of health. The fusees or flare pistol give you a silent way to take down larger enemies. So this way you can deal with an armored or a bee without having to alert your neighbors that you're present. If you're playing in a duo, you can be revived or revive by standing near a partner and holding down the revive key. When you go down, you will lose your most recent bar of health, meaning the furthest to the right. This will continue each time you die until all the health bars are gone, so be careful. Oftentimes, experienced players will camp a body, so until you kill the people that downed your friend, you should probably hold off on reviving. Although getting downed or burned will remove a health bar, you can restore them in-game by banishing a boss. If you are unable to do that, if you make it through the raid, you can buy back health bars for 3 points or 7 points respectively for little and large health bars. Fire will result in a health bar being permanently lost. This means that firebombs or lanterns can be very strong in combat, as you force a player to need to put out a fire for risk of losing that bar for good. You can also burn down players this way to prevent them from being picked up by their teammate. It is possible to come back while being burned on the ground, but your partner will need to revive you, and then you'll need to quickly put out the fire, so it's very unlikely to survive this situation. Poison damage will build only when you're standing next to a poison source, or if bees are attacking you. Just leave the exposure source and the damage will stop. However, it will obscure your vision for quite a while until you're without the damage. Health does not begin to recover until the poison vision goes away. And bees are definitely the most dangerous source of poison exposure. The last type of damage is bleeding, which also drains health like fire, except you can recover it with a standard bandage or health pack. Anyways, that concludes this first beginner guide to Hunt Showdown. If you liked it, go ahead and let me know with a like or a subscribe. And if you have any feedback or want a certain guide in the future, throw a comment down below. Thanks so much, and I'll see y'all next time.